In the heart of the lush green valleys of Ibadan, nestled between hills where the sun bathed the earth in golden warmth, lived a woman named Adebimpe. Her village, Idogo, was small yet rich in stories, with an age-old river running through it. A river that had brought both life and hardship to the people. The river was seen as sacred, for it was believed to be a gift from the gods, flowing from the heavens above. But as the years passed, the river had grown restless, swelling beyond its banks during the rainy season, destroying homes and crops. Adebimpe was no ordinary woman. Known for her wisdom, patience, and grace, she was admired throughout the village. But she was also burdened with a deep sorrow. Despite her many blessings, Adebimpe had never been able to bear children. Her heart ached every time she watched the other women of the village with their children, their laughter filling the air as her arms remained empty. One warm evening, as the village gathered by the riverbank for a festival, Adebimpe sat alone, gazing at the river that had both nurtured and threatened her people. She whispered softly, "Oh, river, you have taken so much from us, but you have also given us life. I wish I could understand your ways." It was then that an old woman, draped in the traditional fabrics of her ancestors, approached Adebimpe. Her name was Olorunki, the village elder and the keeper of ancient knowledge. She sat beside Adebimpe, her eyes filled with knowing. "Why do you sit alone, Adebimpe?" Olorunka asked, her voice as gentle as the breeze. Adebimpe looked at the elder, her eyes filled with longing. "Olorunke, I have lived a life full of blessings, but there is one thing that I cannot have: children. The other women have their children, and I wonder if the gods have forgotten me. I feel as if the river's waters, which have blessed this land, flow away from me, leaving me barren." Olorunke studied Adebimpe for a long moment, as if weighing the woman's words against the stars. "My daughter, the gods do not forget. The river too is not just a force of nature. It is alive with a spirit and a will of its own. It gives and it takes. But there is a deeper magic in this world, one that the river understands. If you are willing, the river may grant you a gift unlike any other." Adebimpe's eyes widened. "What kind of gift?" Olorunki's voice dropped to a whisper. "The river can give you a child, Adebimpe, but it will not be a child born in the way you think. It will be a child that is part of the earth, part of the river, a child whose life will be tied to the very land that nourishes you." Adebimpe's heart raced, torn between hope and fear. "What must I do?" The elder's gaze softened. "Tonight, when the moon rises high, go to the river, kneel by its waters and speak your heart. The river will listen. But know this, Adebimpe, you must give the river a part of yourself, something that connects you to it forever. Only then will the child come." That night, as the moon cast its silver glow over the earth, Adebimpe found herself standing at the river's edge, her heart pounding in her chest. The river before her was calm, yet there was a sense of power in its stillness, as if it were waiting, listening. She knelt by the water, her hands trembling as she cupped a handful of the cool, flowing river in her palms. "Oh, river, I have no child, no legacy to leave behind, but I have my heart and my soul. I give you my love for this land, my hope, and my deepest desire. Grant me a child, oh river." The river responded with a soft ripple, and for a moment Adebimpe felt the earth beneath her stir. She closed her eyes, a strange warmth flooding her body. Suddenly the ground trembled and the air filled with a deep resonating hum. Adebimpe opened her eyes to see the water begin to rise, swelling in a gentle but powerful spiral. The river seemed to breathe, as if it were alive, responding to her call. The water surged forward, and from the depths of the river a child was born, an infant wrapped in the flowing currents of water, her body glistening with the glow of the moon. Adebimpe gasped, her heart overflowing with emotion. The child opened her eyes, eyes that mirrored the deep dark waters of the river. "You are mine," Adebimpe whispered, her voice trembling. "You are my child, born of the earth, born of the river." The child smiled, her laugh like the sound of water running over smooth stones. And in that moment, Adebimpe knew that she had been blessed, not with a child of flesh and blood, but with a child of the earth, a child tied to the very, very heartbeat of the land. As the days passed, Adebimpe cared for the child, named Olorun, after the goddess of the river. The villagers marveled at the child, for Olorun grew at an unnatural rate. Her laughter, filling the air like the sound of the river's flow, but the river had its price. It would no longer rest. It swelled and raged with a new intensity, carving new paths through the land, flooding fields, and threatening the village. Adebimpe knew that the gift was both a blessing and a curse. She sought the wisdom of Olorunko once more. The elder spoke solemnly. The river has granted you a child, but the child is also the river spirit. To protect the village, you must return her to the water, for she belongs to it. Adebimpe's heart broke at the thought of losing her child, but she understood. The child Olorun belonged to the river, and the river needed her. In the quiet hours before dawn, Adebimpe carried the child to the river's edge once more. As she stepped into the water, the child's body shimmered with the glow of the river, and she was taken back into the depths, her laughter echoing in the silence. The river calmed, its waters receding to their rightful place. Adebimpe returned to her village, her heart full but heavy. She had given birth to a river, and in doing so, had restored the balance of nature. She would never forget the child of the river, the child who was both her own and a part of something much larger. Years passed, and the river no longer threatened the village. It flowed gently, nourishing the land and its people. And though Adebimpe never had a child of her own in the traditional sense, the river had given her a gift that no one else could claim, a child born from the earth, a child who would never truly live. And so the villagers of Idogo would tell the story of Adebimpa, the woman who gave birth to a river. They would speak of her courage, her sacrifice, and the river that would forever flow through her veins. For in the end, Adebimpe had become part of the river story, as the river had become part of hers.